Hello students, today we are going to learn MCQ questions for the chapter 12 electricity. Before going to the chapter electricity, we have to know what is electricity. Electricity is the flow of charges. The flow of charges may be from higher potential to a lower potential or from a lower potential to a higher potential. This flowing of charges is called as electricity. We have seen that the flow of water from higher potential to lower potential, the flowing of water is also called as current, water current. In the same way, the flowing of charges in an electrical conductor is called as electricity. So this is the basic concept. Now these flowing of charges from higher potential to lower potential, it means that in a higher potential, wherever there is a maximum concentration of charges, from that maximum concentration of charges, these charges flow from maximum concentration of charges to the lower concentration of charges. So this flowing of charges is called as electric current. Either it may travel from a higher potential to a lower potential, or it may travel from a lower potential to higher potential. It depends upon the concentration of charges. Wherever there is a higher concentration, from there the charges will flow to the lower concentration. Or it may depends if in a lower potential there is a higher number of concentration of charges, then it will flow to the lower concentration of charges. So charges flow from either higher potential to lower potential, or it may also flow from lower potential to higher potential. So in the meanwhile, we should know that conventional flow of current is from we will take it from positive to negative, and electronic flow of current we will take it from negative to positive. If you buy a cell from a market and you connect it with a wire and a bulb, the conventionally we will take that from a positive pole of that battery, the current is flowing from a positive terminal, then through the bulb and to the negative potential. The convention is from positive of a battery to the negative of a battery, and electronically the electrons flow from negative of a battery through the bulb and to the positive of the battery. So this thing you should know. Now we will come to the basic of charges. How many types of charges are there? In meanwhile, we have two types of charges. One is called as positive charge and another is called as negative charge. So these two charges are present, and meanwhile we should know that like charges, if you take positive and positive, these two charges, if this is a positive charge and another is also a positive charge, if you bring it nearby, then they will repel each other, they move away from each other. In the meanwhile, if you take a positive charge and another negative charge and you bring nearer to each other, then they attract each other. So this is the basic concept of charges. Now according to Coulomb's law states that if there are two charges, either we will take both as a positive charge, or we will take it as a positive and negative charge. If it is both are positive or same types of charges, then they will repel each other. If they are in opposite charge, then they will attract each other. Then Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction between these two charges or force of repulsion between these two charges depend upon it is told that force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of these charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So product of these charges, what is the product of these two charges, on that it depends the force of attraction of these charges, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. As the distance increases, the force of attraction decreases. As the concentration of charges increases, the force of attraction increases. Directly proportional means if the concentration of charges increases, then they will attract with that of force. So it is directly proportional. Force of attraction is directly proportional to the concentration of charges and inversely proportional to the distance between them. If distance decreases, attraction increases. If distance increases, then attraction decreases. So this was then these flowing of charges also depend on the type of conductor. So we have basically we know question number 1, unit of electric power may be expressed as A volt ampere, B kilowatt hour, C watt second, D joule second. So answer for this is volt ampere. Why it is volt ampere? Again it is electric power may be expressed as it means that in an electric circuit, if potential difference is 1 volt and 1 ampere of current is flowing, then it can be represented as wattage of that. If you go and buy an electric bulb, you will tell that this watt of bulb we require. That watt means how much consumption of electric power it is using. So we will express the electric power power as volt ampere. So basically electricity is measured in units of power called watts, named to the honor of James Watt, the inventor of steam engine. A watt is the unit of electric power equal to 1 ampere under the pressure of 1 volt. 1 watt is a small amount of power. So on the basis of this we have told that the power is measured in expressed by volt ampere. Now second question we will go. Which of the following represents voltage? So voltage how we can represent? Say A, it is given work done divided by current into charge, B work done into charge, C work done into time divided by current, D work done into charge into time. So voltage how we can represent? So you know that in a basic electric circuit, if the potential difference is of certain voltage and it is connected to a resistance, either it may be bulb or any devices, then we will tell that current flowing in that circuit of certain potential difference applied in that circuit is directly proportional to the applied voltage. So whatever the voltage you are applying, that current is directly proportional and inversely proportional to the resistance of that conductor. Means as resistance increases, the flowing of current decreases, and if resistance decreases, then flowing of current increases, and if voltage increases, the flowing of current increases. So by Ohm's law, voltage can be given by the formula work done divided by current into charges. So voltage is directly proportional to the work done and it is inversely proportional to current into charge. So this is the answer for that. Question number 3. The element used most exclusively for the filament of incandescent lamp. So which is the A, it is given copper, B, it is given gold, C, it is given silver, and D is tungsten. So mostly for the filament, if you buy a bulb, incandescent bulb, inside that one element is used which is used for glowing purpose. So mostly we will use a material called tungsten. So tungsten, it is a material which will glow when we make that bulb vacuum, and if a material tungsten is used, it will give a bright color, and in presence of oxygen it will not burn also. So the easiest metal which is available for uses in an incandescent lamp is tungsten. So you have to remember the element is called tungsten. So fourth question we will go. An electric iron draws a current of 4 ampere. So they are telling an electric iron is there which is drawing a current, which is consuming a current of 4 ampere when connected to a 220 volt mains. So whatever the mains is there, it is of what potential difference? 220 volt mains AC. Its resistance must be. So what is the resistance they are telling? So whatever the thing here it is given, current is given, the value of current is 4 ampere and voltage is given 220 volt, means resistance must be. So they have not given resistance. So according to Ohm's law, we know that current flowing through that conductor is directly proportional to the applied voltage and inversely proportional to the resistance of the conductor. So by putting the formula, I is equal to V by R. So we get the answer as 55 ohm. So you have to put that formula, I is directly proportional to V by R. So R is that is 55 ohm. Next question we will go for the SI unit of resistance. So system of international unit for resistance is ohm. So they have given 4 options: ohm meter raised to 1, ohm meter raised to -1. So the answer is ohm. Next question 6th, the variable resistance is called resistor, rheostat, open switch, none of these. So variable resistance is a device in which we can vary the resistance of that conductor. So that device, which is that resistor, in resistor what happens, we can't vary the resistance. Whatever resistance you will use in the circuit, it will be permanent. If it is 4 ohm, it remains 4 ohm, it will not vary. If you are using 10 ohm or 1 kilo ohm resistor, it will not vary. So only the device which we can use as a variable resistance in a circuit, we will call it as a rheostat. So you have to remember that.